Welcome back, baseball fans, to the 1984, 69, 70, 71 carryover league. We were in the tournament. We are in the first leg of the tournament, the up to sevens between first and second, third and fourth place teams. We have our final series in this round and the eighth elimination series in the round. Tonight we are in the American League East. We have the Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays. The postseason opened with the Red Sox in third place and the Blue Jays in fourth, but the Yankees lost 3 to the Orioles, so the Yankees have fallen into third place, and the Yankees cannot be eliminated by whatever happens in this Boston-Toronto series. But the Yankees can also not finish in second after this round. So the winner of this series between Boston and Toronto is your second place team going into the next round of the postseason. Let's see what the teams need to do. We look at that here. So earlier in the season, Boston beat Toronto 4-2, so they are +2 in the head-to-head. Toronto starts this series 2.5 games behind. Math suggests they need to win 5 out of 7. If they do that, they'd be a half game ahead. The head-to-head between the two teams, Toronto would then be the +1 and therefore have the head-to-head and be a half game ahead. There would not need to be a tie-breaking 8th game. So Toronto just simply needs to win 5 of 7. Now, I need to give a little bit of background. 4 years ago, I had finished up the 1981, 82, 83, 84 carryover league, and then that's when I decided that I would not continue the league into 1985 by dropping the 81 cards and then moving forward like I had been doing in chronological order. This is when I decided that I would go back into time. The 1985 card set made by Strat-O-Matic, they changed the format of the cards. They added ballpark home run, ballpark single, and clutch hitting ability. And I didn't want to move on into the 80s, knowing that they would, Strat-O-Matic would, change the card set again in 1986, change it again in 87 and 88, and then I wouldn't be able to mix these card sets together with one set of rules, because I didn't want to have some cards with one set of rules and play a game where you had 2 sets of rules with guys with ballpark homers and guys who don't have ballpark homers, etc. And then I discovered and I acquired the 1969 and 1970 reissue sets, which were created in the 1980s by Strat-O-Matic, and that's what you've been looking at. The reissues Strat-O-Matic created that have the same format that they established in 1977 through 1984. The super advanced game with E ratings on the cards. So it has been a boon. It totally has been a boon and has been a lot of fun because I've been able to have players become teammates from different eras. For instance, Baltimore has Cal Ripken and Brooks Robinson on the left side of the infield. Detroit, winners of the 68 series and the 84 series, they have Lolich and McLean, the great outfield of Horton, Northrup, Kaline, Norm Cash. Their only weakness really was the middle infield. And lo and behold, they end up with Alan Trammell, Lou Whitaker, and oh, by the way, the most valuable player, Willie Hernandez from 1984. Twins in the 80s added Ken Urbick, Kirby Puckett, Frank Viola. We know that those players were one of the 1987 World Championship Minnesota team. We know that Minnesota was a dominant team in the late 60s, approaching 1970. They were the first American League team to win the American League West. Now, imagine Oakland putting Ricky Henderson on those Charlie Finley Oakland A's with Raleigh Fingers and Reggie Jackson and Sal Bando, etc. In Atlanta, these are all the teams, by the way, who are doing well this year. In Atlanta, we have Dale Murphy and Hank Aaron in the same outfield. Also, off the top of my head, I'm thinking the Mets had Dwight Gooden join Jerry Koosman and Tom Seaver in the rotation. And the Dodgers with Bill Singer and Osteen had the Bulldog, Earl Hershiser, join them in the rotation. So this whole idea of going back to 69 and then continuing the chronology after that into 70, 71, 72, 73 has been outstanding. It's been a lot of fun, and there has only been one complaint. There's only one team in this entire league that is very upset with a decision to not continue into 1985. And that team is the Toronto Blue Jays. Here are the Toronto Blue Jays. I'll turn this down a little bit. So, the Toronto Blue Jays of 1985 are ticked the hell off that I went to this format, because, let's go back to their franchise pages. Established in 77, by 82 they were almost at 500. 83 and 84 they won 89 games. And in 1985 they took the Royals to 7 games of the American League Championship Series before losing. Won divisions in 89, 91, and of course 2 World Series titles in 92 and 93. And this 85 team, you have, Barfield's not on this team particularly, but you got Dave Steve, Bill Alexander, George Bell, Tony Fernandez, Lloyd Mosby. You got, where's Mullinex at? He's in here somewhere. Anyway, Mullinex. They're all on this team. And this is my moment to apologize to all Toronto Blue Jays fans out there and say I'm sorry that I broke up your star talent right when you were about to blossom. So this is the last year that the Blue Jays will have George Bell, Lloyd Mosby, Tony Fernandez, Mullinex, Dave Steve, the best pitcher in Toronto history not named Roy Halladay, and Doyle Alexander. So, that's your pregame. So, how has Toronto reacted in this series? Well, here we go. Game 1. Red Sox are up in the 8th inning by 3. They commit a bunch of errors. The Toronto Blue Jays come back in the 8th inning, win 5-3. They're a game and a half back. Game number 2. Boston's ahead 2-0 in the 8th inning. Their bullpen implodes, walks the bases loaded, a couple more Boston errors. Toronto wins 7-2. They're half game back. Series switches to Fenway Park for Game 3. Okay, the Red Sox, under the friendly confines of Fenway, finally get it together and win 9-1, beating Doyle Alexander. We get it. Then in Game 4, Toronto, are they going to wilt? No, they're not. They're going to put a 15-burger on the board in Fenway. And they're going to have a 15-6 lead in the last 2 innings and have to sweat it out as their joke bullpen from the late 60s and early 70s manages to load the bases in the bottom of the 9th. Antonio Armas misses a grand slam, a game-tying grand slam by 1 roll. So Toronto wins that game and are a half game ahead of the Red Sox. Game number 5. Okay, in Fenway. This is a tough one here. Dave Steve, the heart and soul of the Blue Jays, could not get the job done in Fenway. And a bunch of solo homers by the Red Sox. Reggie Smith, Carl Yastrzemski, Mike Andrews, Dave Kingman. And a second complete game because the Red Sox and Blue Jays are both terrified of going to the bullpen, it appears. Another complete game for the Red Sox, and they move back to within, they have a game and a half lead. So, here's the mission. We are back into Toronto for a Game 6. Toronto needs to win Game 6 and 7. and they will advance. Boston needs to win a baseball game. Geddy Lee is behind the third base dugout. We're listening to Rush 2112, and heck, I'm going to turn it back up. Got to do it. So here we go. 2112, Rush. Let's get it going. Reggie Smith leads it off. Well, rolls a second. Mike Andrews, skies at left. Lloyd Mosby's a 2-5 in left field. He catches it. Petrocelli pops to third. Juan Beniquez, 110, base hit. Schofield, 53, flies it into left. Yastrzemski's a 1-16 in left, and he makes the grab. Carl Taylor, 1-6. Let's look at this card. Double 1-7's a double. Second and third for Frank Fernandez. Bounces to third. This is Boggs, a 3-21. That's a base hit. 2-run single. Toronto, 2-zip. George Taco Bell bounces to short. This is Petrocelli, a 2-16 at short. Ground ball C. Runner at second and 2 outs for Mosby. 1-14, base hit. Runs to the corners, 2 outs for Tony Fernandez. Walk. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Bottom of the first for this Rod Gasper guy. Skies the center. 2-zip. Yastrzemski, 6'10", bouncer to short. This is Tony Fernandez. Tony Armas, left. Dave Kingman, K's. 6 up and down for Doyle Alexander, who lost 9-1 in Game 3. Vance Law rolls a second. Juan Beniquez, base hit. Schofield, the All-Star, K's. And with 2 outs, Carl Taylor, 68, 1-14. Lines out off of the Ojeda card. Wade Boggs, 63. Pitcher, E11. Nice play, Alexander. George Scott, 44. Short X. This is Tony Fernandez. Another nice play. Jerry Moses, the catcher, 45. Pops to first. Doyle Alexander, perfect through 3. Frank Fernandez, 1-7. Walk. Let's look at this card. This is just a crazy looking card here. He must have a 450 OPS or something ridiculous like that with all those walks. 12 homers and 220 at-bats and 65 walks. That projects to about 160 walks if he played the whole season. George Taco Bell, 2-9, double play. And Mosby, 2-7's a base hit. With 2 outs, is he going to steal? Of course he is. He's in there. Runner at second for Tony Fernandez. 38 is a base hit into right field. Now, this is interesting. Reggie Smith's got a cannon out there. -4 arm. Lloyd Mosby, 16-7. He's going to run. He needs a 14 or lower. And he is thrown out on a 19. Give this one to Reggie Smith. Nice throw. You got to figure Toronto is going to take every risk they have. They're going full in on this. And he gets thrown out. So that's a bad inning for the Blue Jays. A walk, a double play, 2 singles, and they end up with nothing. We're in the 4th. Reggie Smith, 4-11. Flies it into right field. Beniquez, a 2-12, makes the play. Mike Andrews, 67, single 1-13, and he rolls a 14. And then PG is still in play. Petrocelli bounces to third. Bottom of 4. Gaspar, 56, bouncer to short. Petrocelli, 2-16. Vance Law, 1-5, single 1-3, line out. Beniquez, 5-8 left. After the early excitement, it's kind of died down here in the 5th inning of a 2-0 game. Yastrzemski, 5-12, bouncer to second. This is Schofield at home, a 3-17, and Schofield boots the ball. PG gone. Perfect game is over. Yastrzemski is an ace stealer. Frank Fernandez is a 0 arm. And Boston's going to try and be aggressive here. Here goes Yaz trying for the stolen base. And he is thrown out. Yastrzemski, an ace stealer. I don't know how many times in his career he was an ace stealer, but he didn't take advantage that time. 1 out. Tony Armas, 68, second X. And that would have been a double play. So with 2 outs, it's Kingman, 58, center. So, the minimum number of batters and a no-hitter, no perfect game through 5 for Doyle Alexander. 2-zip Schofield. bounces to short. Carl Taylor, 47 Ks. Frank Fernandez, 612, bounces to second. This is Andrews, a 2E26, and he boots it. George, Taco Bell, 1-6 center. Oh, they are making this a tense one. Wade Boggs, and there goes the no-no. Let's look at Wade Boggs' card. Not one of his better cards, if you consider hitting 325 not good. Considering he hit 368 most of the time in the 80s, or a lot of the time in the 80s. So yeah, so he's not hitting 368 or 351 or 349 or 373 or whatever. He's hitting a mere 325. That's a base hit. George Scott, 48, pops to first. Jerry Moses, 34, a force out at second base, and with 2 outs. Reggie Smith, 58, skies the right. 2-zip, I'm a 6. Mosby, 2-9, second. This is an outstanding start for Bob Ojeda. He's really a rough-looking pitcher. Tony Fernandez, 57, that's a K. And Rod Gasper, 2-6 is a base hit. B. Steeler, Vance Law, 1-7 is a K. Ojeda pitching out of his mind here. So we go to the 7th. It's 2-0. Mike Andrews, 45, pops to first. Petrocelli, 69, bouncer to short. Tony Fernandez, he makes the play, and with 2 outs. Yastrzemski, 59, second. The fans are on their feet in Exhibition Stadium as Doyle Alexander has given up 1 hit through 7 innings. Ojeda is still out there. 2-0 game. Juan Beniquez, 47 is a K. Schofield, 2-4, center. And Carl Taylor, 1-4, is a K. This is really getting tense here. 8th inning, Tony Armas, 1-6 is a K. Dave Kingman, 1-2, fouls to the catcher. And with 2 outs, it's Wade Boggs. That's going to be a base hit. It's Wade Boggs, 2 hits. The rest of the Red Sox, 0. George Scott, the tie run, 54, skies the center X, and he is a 2 in center field. We go to the bottom of the 8th of a 2-0 game. Ojeda is still out there. I got to give Ojeda some props. He put 9 men on in the first 3 innings. This Ojeda card, 12-12 with a 3.99 ERA. He's been the weak link of the rotation, the one guy that's been holding the Red Sox back all year, and he's pitching a hell of a game. So here we go, bottom of the 8th, Frank Fernandez, 48, that's going to be a base hit. Okay, it's Bell, Mosby, Fernandez, Gasper. If Ojeda gets past Bell, he's got a left-hander. Tony Fernandez can't hit lefties, and Gasper sucks as well. So here's the big at-bat here, George Bell. 3-10 is a hit by pitch. All right, you got 2 men on. Mosby. Ojeda's still going to stay in the game as Boston's bullpen has been horrible. Bob Stanley entered the series with an ERA of 18. When your ERA is 18, you have a tendency to stay in the bullpen in 2-run games. So, 2 on, no one out. Mosby will bunt. He's a B bunter. And the B bunter, that is not, wait a minute. Yeah, that's not a single. 2 and 3 is a single for B. 2 and 4 is a single for an A. So it's a sacrifice. Tony Fernandez, you have runners at second and third. And here's the pitch to Tony Fernandez. 2-8 is a strikeout. And with 2 outs, it's Rod Gasper. The pitch. 1-6 is a roller to third. Give it up for Bob Ojeda. He put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 men on base in 8 innings. And it's only 2-zip. And here's the man of the hour, though. Doyle Alexander. A guy who lost 9-1 in Game 3 is got a 2-0 shutout and a 2-hitter going. Here we go. In the 9th, Jerry Moses. If you're not a Red Sox fan, you gotta be a Blue Jays fan, folks. Sorry, you got to root for the Blue Jays from here on out. Jerry Moses, 3-6 is a fly ball to left. Reggie Smith, 48 is a pop to third. It comes down to Mike Andrews in the ninth. 57. Let's look at Dole's card again. That's a strikeout. It's over here in Game 6. Wow, what a game. Doyle Alexander and Bob Ojeda. A classic. 2-0. What a series. Let's look at the box and see what the standings look like. 2-hitter. No walks. 3 strikeouts. He went 2 batters over the minimum with a double play mixed in there. Bob Ojeda takes a tough loss. 9 hits, 2 runs. They were earned. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. He gets a complete game. And let's see, that's Game 6. So we will have a Game 7. Wow, what does this do to the American League East? I'll tell you, if you're an Orioles fan, all the competition in this division has disappeared. So Toronto is 16-18. The Yankees are 15-16. And the Red Sox are 17-18. So when we look at the standings in the American League East, the Orioles currently 6.5 in front of Boston and the Yankees, and 7 in front of Toronto. So in Game 7, the Blue Jays have a chance to be 6.5, take this spot, the 6.5. Boston would go to this spot, 7, and the Yankees would stay 6.5 in third. So that's what's up for the Game 7 game, which we'll play. So it's been a great series, great little story, and gosh, if you're not a Red Sox fan, I hope you're rooting for the Blue Jays from here on out. All right, thanks for checking out this long-winded and music-laden broadcast. We'll catch up with you again next time.